I want to share a story from my life, something that shaped how I see relationships and self-worth. My name is Mark, and this is about a time I poured everything into someone I loved, only to be dismissed in front of others. Looking back, the warning signs were there. I just chose to ignore them. It all started when I met Elena at a professional networking event. She carried herself with such grace, dressed impeccably, and I assumed she came from wealth. That assumption didn't hold up long, but her charm drew me in. We hit it off, exchanging ideas over coffee that day, and what began as a casual connection grew into a deep friendship. Months later, we started dating, and I thought I'd found someone special. As we grew closer, Elena shared more about her life. Her family had once been comfortable. Her father ran successful businesses, made smart investments, but a financial crash changed everything. They went from stability to debt almost overnight. Elena worked as a marketing consultant, but she carried the weight of supporting her parents, covering bills, and handling emergencies. I admired her for it. Life can be unpredictable, and stepping up for family showed strength. I was a project manager, living simply in a small apartment, driving an average car, and saving for a business venture I'd been dreaming about. I wasn't flashy, but I had goals. Elena, though, loved luxury, designer outfits, upscale restaurants, and exclusive social events. At first, I didn't mind. People have their tastes, and I wanted her to be happy. But over time, her behavior toward me shifted. She'd make little digs, calling them jokes, like smirking when I mentioned my business plans or correcting me in front of her friends. "Let's talk about something serious," she'd say, brushing me off. It stung, but I told myself it was just her personality. I loved her, so I let it slide. A year and a half into our relationship, I proposed. She said yes, and we started planning our future. I became more involved in her life, especially when she hit financial rough patches. When she worried about bills, I covered them. When her parents faced setbacks, I helped out quietly, thinking that's what a partner does. Once, she lost a major client and felt defeated, so I loaned her money to tide her over. I didn't see it as a loan, but as support for the woman I planned to marry. Her parents liked me, and I wasn't keeping track of who gave more. I just wanted us to build something together. As her birthday approached, Elena was struggling financially. I decided to make it special for her. Not because she asked, but because I wanted her to feel loved. She planned the event. A chic rooftop venue with city views, a curated guest list of colleagues and influencers, and a high-end caterer with gourmet appetizers. I didn't question her choices. I just paid the deposits and covered most of the costs. It meant dipping into my business savings, but I was happy to do it for her. On the night of the party, I went all out. I rented a luxury car so she could arrive in style, and she looked stunning in a sparkling gown. I wore my best suit, proud to stand by her. At the venue, I stayed in the background, letting her shine. I held her bag when she needed, smiled at her guests, and kept close but gave her space. It was her moment. Then it happened. She was chatting with some co-workers when one of them nodded toward me and asked, "Who's that guy standing nearby?" Elena laughed and said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "Oh, him? He's just my chauffeur." The group chuckled. I stood there stunned, hoping I'd misheard, but her expression confirmed it. She meant it. I waited until I could pull her aside and asked why she'd say something so hurtful. She looked at me like I was overreacting and said, "You should be thankful I even invited you. Look at these people, you don't fit in." Her words hit like a punch. I didn't argue. I grabbed my coat, walked out, and left her there. The party had some outstanding bills, decorators, caterers that I'd agreed to cover. After what happened, I didn't pay a cent more. I took a few days to process everything, replaying the red flags I'd ignored, the jabs, the dismissals, the way she belittled my dreams. I asked myself why I'd let it go so far, why I thought love meant tolerating disrespect. When Elena called 2 days later, I let it go to voicemail. She needed money to settle the party bills. I didn't respond. I blocked her number. She tried again from another phone, but I hung up and blocked that too. When she showed up at my place, I saw her through the peephole, but didn't open the door. She knocked, waited, then left. I was done. 2 weeks later, her parents came to my apartment. They looked uneasy but sincere. "We're sorry to bother you," her mother said. They'd heard about the party. Elena claimed I overreacted, but a friend told them the truth about her chauffeur comment. They were mortified. Her father said, "We didn't raise her to act like this." They admitted Elena had changed, chasing a glamorous image and losing sight of how to treat people. They asked if I'd consider talking to her, hoping it might ground her. I respected their courage in coming, but my answer was firm. Elena's part of my past. I wish her well, but I'm moving forward. They nodded, thanked me and left. Months later, her father called again. Elena was in financial trouble, serious debt. He asked if I could help, promising they'd handle the rest. I paused, then said calmly, "She's not my responsibility anymore." He didn't argue and we hung up. Looking back, I wish I'd seen the truth sooner. Love without respect is a trap. I've learned a few things from this. First, don't ignore the small signs. Disrespect often starts subtle. Jokes that aren't funny, eye rolls, dismissals. Listen to them. Second, don't give so much of yourself to prove you're enough. Real love doesn't demand that. The more I gave, the less she valued me. And when it mattered, she chose to humiliate me. Third, walking away can be more powerful than fighting. It's not about revenge. It's about choosing your worth. Finally, anyone who needs to put you down to feel better isn't your partner. That's not love, it's their own insecurity. If you're in a relationship where you're fighting for basic respect, take a moment. Ask yourself, are they proud of who you are, or just what you provide? I'd love to hear your thoughts. What would you have done in my place?